Throughout this presentation, I will be discussing 3 professional communication skills that I want to and need to improve. I will define each skill, followed by an experience or an example of a time that I failed at incorporating this skill, and how the experiences helped me realize that I need to learn how to use each skill successfully. Additionally, I will explain how I plan to improve each professional communication skill that I've pointed out, and I will identify outside sources and explore how these sources have been able to assist in finding a plan and preparing the steps to complete this plan. I will analyze the professional communication skills of conflict management, business and professional writing, and I will talk about leadership. Conflict management is the first professional skill that I plan to improve. Conflict management is a professional communication skill that requires an individual to have the ability to acknowledge disagreements or arguments and to find a solution that allows all individuals to be satisfied or to understand and accept the solution. While I have never been in a management role, and I've only been at an entry-level employee job, there have been quite a few situations where having the ability to manage conflicts would have been beneficial. In these instances, I freeze, not knowing what to say or do. In the end, I've had to call for somebody else to help. Usually it's a manager. There's been one experience that stands out. It occurred when I overheard 2 coworkers arguing about how to deal with shoplifters. Despite my better judgment, I went over to investigate. My 2 coworkers saw me. They asked who was right. Unfortunately, they were both wrong, but instead of explaining the answer, I called for a manager, and besides that, I stayed silent and I froze up. While we were waiting for the manager, the argument escalated, and the 2 individuals began yelling at each other and shoving each other. And I continued to stand there, frozen. The manager arrived and de-escalated the situation, while I continued being silent and not moving an inch. I know at the end of the day, it wasn't my responsibility, but in the back of my mind, I knew that it will be someday. That's when I realized that I need to improve my abilities in conflict management, so that when I am in a position that requires a communication skill, I can successfully manage conflicts. Ultimately, my goal is to better understand how to effectively manage a variety of conflicts in the workplace so that I can use that knowledge when I get into a leadership role in my career. In the article, Showdown Conflict Communication in the Workplace by Brent Roberts, a vast of important information about conflict management is provided. One important thing to know is that when a conflict arises, one should always ask themselves about the reasons that others have for behaving the way that they are. Doing this for yourself and helping others to do the same can go a long way toward resolving or helping to resolve conflict that exists in the workplace. It's also important to be empathetic and to hear what others are saying without letting your own feelings, opinions, or personal stances on a topic take over. Therefore, hearing what other individuals have to say can be extremely beneficial, and it can provide clarity that didn't exist before discussing a certain topic. Lastly, make sure to always ask yourself what is best for everyone in any conflict. Be aware of yourself, how you're responding, how you are thinking, and what you're planning, so that you can ensure that your goal is one that benefits each party that is involved as much as possible. In conclusion, my plans to better my abilities in conflict management are extremely important to me, and there are many ways that I plan to enact these improvements. I will push to be able to put myself in other people's shoes and help others do the same. I will work on not allowing my existing feelings and opinions cloud my ability to hear what others are saying and to be able to hear what another individual's point of view is. Lastly, I will think beyond an issue to be able to identify what is most beneficial to all parties that are involved. All of these different actions will help me handle conflict management throughout my professional career. The next professional communication skill that I want to discuss is business and professional writing. Business and professional writing is a piece of writing that effectively communicates and explains information, facts, statistics, etc. that is relevant to a topic that's being discussed. I've had a plethora of experiences in writing papers for academic purposes, but I've had minimal experiences in writing for professional purposes. While shadowing at a company recently, I realized that there are many differences between academic and professional writing, but there are also many overlaps. This led me to realize that I need to fully incorporate myself in what I'm learning in terms of academic writing, while also preparing to extend my writing abilities to ensure that they fit the level for professional writing. In the end, I plan to extend my skills in academic writing so that I am successful and effective in business and professional writing. I want to apply these skills when working in a professional environment. Writing Beyond Borders, Rethinking the Relationship Between Composition Studies and Professional Writing by Jennifer Bay explains the importance of the overlap that exists between academic and professional writing, while also highlighting the differences that exist. Bay explains that rethinking the relationship between composition studies and professional writing can be extremely beneficial if an overlap between these two begins to exist more prominently, while also acknowledging the differences that exist between these two kinds of writing. Bay's paper helped me realize the importance of using these skills that I've learned from academic writing and how to apply these skills to my professional writing, while also being sure to be specific in each situation. I learned how important it is to constantly build on writing knowledge so that I can continue to apply it throughout my professional career. In all, I learned that gaining more knowledge about writing, whether it's academic or professional, is valuable. Expanding this knowledge while also holding on to what I've already learned can contribute immensely to my success in business and professional writing. Lastly, recognizing that each piece of writing has specific requirements and expectations is important to understanding that the ability to write for business and professional purposes. Writing in a business and professional sense will most likely require expanding one's knowledge to meet the needs of each paper. The last professional skill that I need to improve upon is leadership. Leadership is defined by Google as the action of leading a group of people or an organization. In other words, it's one's ability to guide one or more people to think or work together to finish a project, find a solution, or achieve a goal. At a time that I failed at enacting leadership was when I was a greeter at my current job. I was supposed to tell the other hosts where to seat people, and I had waiters constantly asking me to seat or to not seat their tables. On top of that, it was the busiest night I've experienced since I started working there. A party of 48 came in, all with terrible attitudes, and they were drunk as can be. But they had a membership with the restaurant, which means they get priority seating. Unfortunately, I couldn't figure out where to set up tables for a group that large. In that moment, I freaked out and I shut down. Thankfully, a manager took care of it. Despite it all working out, I was so embarrassed and mortified. And I realized that being a leader means being able to get through challenging situations and to ensure that many other key factors run effectively and smoothly. Brent Roberts, Showdown, Conflict Communication in the Workplace, says that a leader's role is to help encourage and advise employees. Despite my recent failure at my job, I plan to grow and help better my abilities as a leader. I will apply what I've learned from my own experiences to accomplish my plan of becoming a more skilled leader. I will provide assistance when needed, cheer on and support fellow employees, and I'll give direction when it's requested so that I can improve my leadership skills. While there are many different professional skills, there are 3 that I personally want to improve on in order to increase my future success in the professional workplace. The first skill is conflict management. The next is business and professional writing, and the last is leadership. Being able to apply what I've learned from my own experiences and what I've learned from outside sources to growing and improving these skills is vital. Doing so will improve my success in the world of professional workplaces.